Hello, I'm talking racism. I like to ask you to stay for the whole video and to click like, share, repost. But if you don't, that's your business. But it is my business to talk about racism and how the term racism is used very loosely. You see, when someone calls someone the N-word, the first thing that we as Americans want to do is call them a racist. You're a racist for using the N-word. You're a racist for using the N-word. But is that so? Is that person actually a racist? That depends. Because if someone who's of my caliber with no money, no power to do anything or to create laws and to make sure those laws are in fact, so what does that make? It's nothing but words that come together to form hate. And listen to these words closely that go along with racism, okay? And if you don't know the meaning of them, look them up. Contempt is a part of hate. Disdain is a part of hate. Jealousy is a part of hate. Resentment is a part of hate. Bitterness is a part of hate. Malignancy is a part of hate. And guilt is the biggest part of them all. I have nothing to feel guilty of, and neither do you, because we all in this country, because of the laws that was made by those who had the power, who wrote the Constitution and made it into laws, people like Donald Trump, who have power to be able to disseminate this hatred that is up there. These are the people who you can consider racism because they are the ones that have the power to divide and conquer. They have that power. But the question to all Americans is, when someone calls you the N-word, or when you hear someone calling the N-word, how does that make you feel? You see, we all have this thing. I know that I do. I can only speak for myself when you talk about superiority, because I had that in me. It might be two different categories of superiority, but we all had that. Now, you know, white people might look at you and feel you're beneath them because you don't have no money, or you were once a slave, or the laws suggest that they are superior to you. They're better than you, okay? But for me, I feel as though all of the things that have been done to me have been done to my people from slavery on, and I feel that my spirituality is more superior because it's not evil, and I look at evil as being inferior than superior. So you see, we have both, and I don't think that way anymore. I don't know how you're thinking, but I don't think that way anymore. I just know that we as a country has done some things to each other. I'm gonna give you a story about what happened to me. When I moved from New York to New Jersey, and New York, where I lived or where I grew up at, it was a community a community of a melting pot, which we had Chinese, we had Jewish, we had Black, we had white, we had Puerto Rican, and we were a community. We took care of one another. You know, there were white teachers that taught in our school that would come and they would be with us on the weekend. We had the fresh air fun where we got to live with white people in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know, things we never thought we would be exposed to. So therefore, you know, when I look at this, I look at how entangled we are in this word racism. You see, that's what got us so divided, okay? Now, when I look at racism and when I talk about racism, I want people to be able to engage in a conversation without feeling guilty about it. Because let me tell you something. I am going to tell you now, I forgive you. Do you forgive me? Okay? because this is what we did to each other. Like I said, the young man where was raised up in New York City, I didn't know anything about racism. But when I came to Jersey, it quickly slapped me in my face. How? Well, I was in the 5th grade, sitting at our desk, working as everybody else do. Again, they talk about slavery. They don't talk about anything else that will enhance my feeling about myself. They talk about slavery. Slavery is a place where you've been, okay? But that's in the past. It's where you're going is important. So after I went up to the board and I had to write a math answer. And he wrote book to the board and wrote a math answer. And when he came back, he took the remnants of the chalk and wiped it on my shirt and called me the N-word. Well, the teacher heard it, and she asked us to get our dictionaries out. And at that time, we pulled out our dictionary, which was a red and white Thorndike dictionary written in the 1800s. And in that, she told us to turn to the N-word. I won't use the full word because I don't want to get kicked off of TikTok. But she told us to turn to the N-word, and we did. And the definition was an ignorant person. And she told that young man, that means that you can be an N-word and your parents could be an N-word for not teaching you what you should know or what you need to know, that we're all a human. So, I mean, and then after that, it gave me power because I never even knew that word was in there. But it meant ignorant, trifling people. That's what it meant on the Thorndike Dictionary. Then Webster took over. And Webster would give you their definition and their wording to define you, which now it says the N-word is a black person. That's what Webster changed it into. So you see, Webster had the power to be a racist. But these other people who are in the same boat as you, same category that call you a name, don't fret over that because they're hurting. All those words up there that I'm calling to you is because it's what they're feeling of themselves. Those are inferior words. And that's why, it is also good to have this conversation because guilt can spawn all of those words up in a person. Anyway, I don't want to be too long-winded, but there is a part 3. This is part 2. There is a part 3 to tell another story, but I certainly would like to hear your story and what you have went through and what you did to each other. But one thing that I want you to know, even though we have differences, we have suffered together, we've come a long way together, the one thing that we do have in common, and you better know that because it's coming to fruition now, is America, is our love for America. And with that, I'm going to say you have a good day.